As you all know, old Hollywood is glamorous, mysterious, and iconic. But what many don't know are the dark secrets lurking in the shadows. Get ready for your mind to be blown away as we uncover the scandals, secrets, and cover-ups that rocked the entertainment industry. Hey there, gossip lovers. Welcome back to Top 10 Binge. Today, we are going to explore the dark secrets behind old Hollywood. From scandals to secrets, the golden age of Hollywood had plenty of skeletons in its closet. So let's take a deep dive into the top 5 dark truths about old Hollywood. Let's get started. Number 5. Hedrens' traumatic experience while shooting for The Birds. No one expects a movie set to be a safe and comfortable place, but the treatment Tippi Hedren received while filming the iconic scene in Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds was anything but. While the rest of the set was focused on producing the best movie possible, Hedren was subjected to a brutal and ugly and relentless attack. It wasn't just the mechanical birds that were used to simulate the attack that caused Hedren's trauma. Hitchcock's insistence on making the scene as realistic as possible meant that the mechanical birds were supplemented with live birds, which were released on set to harass and peck at the actress. This went on for 5 days straight until Hedren's emotional and physical state was so traumatized that a doctor advised the director to give her a week off. Number 4. Ava Gardner had a secret abortion. In 1951, Ava Gardner was one of the biggest stars of MGM Studios. But when she became pregnant by her then-boyfriend Frank Sinatra, it seemed like her career was about to be ruined. According to Jane Ellen Wayne, in The Golden Girls of MGM, Gardner was facing major financial consequences if she kept the baby. MGM had strict rules about their stars getting pregnant. If she did, her salary would be cut off, and she would have no way of making a living. With Sinatra broke and Gardner's future movies taking her all over the world, she felt she had no choice but to have an abortion. MGM made all the arrangements for her to fly to London, where someone from the studio was with her every step of the way. The whole procedure was very hush-hush so that no one gets a kind of hunch about Gardner's then pregnancy. Number 3. Margaret Hamilton's struggle while filming for The Wizard of Oz. When we think of The Wizard of Oz, many of us imagine the green-faced Wicked Witch of the West, one of the most iconic characters in film history. But what many of us don't know is the story behind how Margaret Hamilton achieved this iconic look and the lengths she had to go to do so. When Jack Young, the makeup artist responsible for creating Hamilton's look, was tasked with getting her into character, he knew he had to use a toxic paint made with copper to achieve the perfect green hue. While this was great for the look of the movie, it posed a health risk for Hamilton, as the paint was toxic to both the skin and any food that came into contact with it. To ensure Hamilton was safe, the team decided it was best for her to drink her liquids through a straw to minimize any risk of the paint coming into contact with her food. Number 2. Hattie McDaniel wasn't allowed to join her cast members at an Oscar event due to her complexion. It's hard to believe that in 1940, only 79 years ago, America was still a place of discrimination and prejudice. Even though Hattie McDaniel won the first ever Academy Award for a black actor, that evening she was not allowed to sit with her own cast and crew at the Coconut Grove nightclub in the Ambassador Hotel. In fact, the hotel had a strict no blacks policy, and McDaniel was forced to sit toward the back of the auditorium. This policy meant that McDaniel was not allowed to share in the joy and celebration of her castmates, although she had just won the first Academy Award for a black actor. McDaniel's historic win was a triumph for the black community and a step forward in the fight for equality in the entertainment industry. Number 1. The shooting spot of The Conqueror caused serious medical issues. When The Conqueror was released in 1956, it was hailed as a cinematic masterpiece. Little did anyone know at the time that the film would end up being remembered for a far more sinister reason. In a cruel twist of fate, the shooting spot was close to a nuclear testing facility. The cast and crew of The Conqueror were not aware of the potential health risks that came with shooting near a nuclear testing facility. But it wasn't until more than a decade later that the terrible truth began to emerge. As members of the cast and crew began to get sick, it became apparent that the toxic environment had caused serious medical damage. The first cast member to be diagnosed with cancer was John Wayne, who died in 1979 from the disease. Soon after, Susan Hayward and Dick Powell were also diagnosed, and they too died soon after. By 1980, it was estimated that 91 out of the 220 cast and crew members had been diagnosed with cancer. It was an unprecedented tragedy. From the glamorous stars to the hidden secrets, it's a world of wonder, disappointment, and sometimes even danger. Many of those secrets are still kept today, but one thing's for sure, old Hollywood was a world all its own. So if you liked today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any other dark Hollywood secrets, let us know in the comments below. Until next time.